everybody, welcome to my latest episode. I got morning affirmations while you sit on the commode. So smile a big smile, kick back with some coffee, enjoy conversation with the peach. She's just a little frosty.
Well, hey, good morning, y'all. Welcome to the Frosty Peach this morning. Look at the sunshine. It is so beautiful. It's actually getting green out there. I'm getting excited. So I'm gonna get to go out and see my plants sprouting up, and that's just awesome. So, hope you guys are doing great this morning. I want to thank y'all for watching this channel. Today is actually the wrap up of this mini series of coffee, convos, and clarity. Have no fear though. As I said in my last episode, we're going to keep going. We're going to have a slightly different cadence and content, focusing on a little bit more of the Frosty knowledge, but we're still going to talk about these affirmations. We're still going to unify people. We're still going to bring folks together, because that's what we do here at Frosty Peach, right? So I hope everybody's doing good this morning. I got two of my C's over here. If y'all don't know, C's are Chrissy, Chet, and Chaz, my three cats. So we call them the three C's. If you ever hear me reference that, that's what that means. So I got my nice cup of coffee here, my little Christmas cup. It's not a cat, but it's actually one I've had for a very long time. That's a good cup of coffee. So this morning's thing is to be thankful. Today we're talking about gratitude and safety. And I think this is the perfect way to wrap up this show, because, you know, I'm so grateful to you folks for watching it. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to talk to you guys, share funny little stories, and have a little bit of psychology knowledge in the background too, right? So we'll go ahead and get started this morning. Today's theme is let's plant our feet before the world starts spinning. And boy, we all know it can spin out of control real fast, right? So how are we going to manage that? How are we going to handle that? How do we handle it? We do our affirmations in the morning. We take deep breaths throughout the day. We get out, you know, in nature when we can. We experience awe. And let's go ahead, hop in here and get grounded. Today's prompt is name one thing that makes you feel safe. For me, that one thing, there's a lot of things that make me feel safe, but it's my husband. I have the most wonderful, amazing husband in the world. Everybody says that. But I have a really good one. And, you know, I always feel vulnerable when I'm with him. I always feel vulnerable. I never have to worry about letting my guard down. You know, if I'm having a bad day or something, he's always there. He is my rock. And I try to be his as well. But always, you know, we talked about this a little yesterday. You want to be vulnerable with folks. And he is my rock and my everything to help me feel safe in this world. So we're going to go ahead and jump into these affirmations today. Today, I am grounded and supported by the earth's energy. That's an interesting one, right? So, you know, we're kind of like a tree. You know, I got some big old trees back here. And we have a lot of wind up north. Let me tell you, we have a lot of wind up north. So we never had anything like this in the south. I don't know if it's the Great Lakes or what. I think it is. But, I mean, I've had tree branches the size of my arm come off these trees. I'm like, you know, are these trees gonna make it? man, those trees aren't going anywhere. Yeah, they get some dead branches on them from time to time, and I think we're kind of like that, you know, like when we're growing, whether it's, you know, intellectually, spiritually, but as we're growing and we're changing, you know, kids, when we grow up, you know, you shed. It's like kind of like shedding the skin a little bit. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we have to lose a little something to gain a little bit of something. And I think that when we are grounded into the earth's energy, that, you know, that's our roots. That's what's weathering that storm. Those roots keep us grounded. They keep us strong. And when that wind's blowing and blowing us 400 different directions, we're not going to go anywhere if we got good roots. And, you know, we're going to get good roots by being good to people, being honest people, and giving good back into the world, like I always say, right? So our roots are really important. I am worthy of abundance and prosperity. You know, I preach this all the time. You are valuable. You are important. The world needs you to fill in its little puzzle piece to make that big picture. The world needs your creativity. It needs your spirit. It needs your voice, right? So you got to know that you're worthy. And you have to believe, you know, that things are going to work out for your greater good, which is what I talked about yesterday. So we're going to practice that belief that we are worthy of abundance and prosperity. Don't ever feel like you don't deserve something, because we deserve all the good that comes to us in this life, right? We deserve that. I trust my ability to overcome all challenges. Boy, isn't that a good one? We all get faced with challenges from time to time, right? And oh man, you know, it's hard sometimes. You know, what is it they say? You know, they say, you know, I like this thing, I don't like this thing at the same time, but pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Now, y'all know I'm Gen X. Y'all know I'm a little bit older, and I do believe in that. We've got to have a little bit more of a backbone in this world. And we got to be tough, because you're not going to make it if you're not a little bit tough. Doesn't mean you can't be vulnerable from time to time. But we got to be a little bit tough too. So it kind of depends on the context of where you're using that kind of saying. But you've got to be tough. And that's really, really important. Because we can do it. You know, we can do it with the help of our family, our friends, you know, our God, the universe, you know. We've got all the support that we need. And what have I said before? Everything I need is within myself too, right? So we're going to use that fire in our bellies to overcome these challenges that we are faced with, right? I trust life's flow and embrace change as growth. Now, what's the one constant that we all know? Everything changes. Everything changes. Always has, always will. Whether we want it to change or not, it's probably going to change. Life is going to keep going no matter what. We're not the center of the world. We're just a little small piece of the world. We're important. But that world is going to keep turning if we're in it or not. So we have to trust in that ebb and flow of life. And when we're faced with the challenges, that's really our time to grow. That's where our character comes in. That's where we're going to go one way or the other way. We're either going to, you know, let the world take us down, and we're going to give up. We don't give up on a Frosty Peach, right? We're going to keep going. And I'm just going to say this because this is like one of my favorite sayings, like ever. One of my favorite sayings is get up, dress up. I don't really dress up because I like t-shirts, but get up, take a shower, comb your hair, brush your teeth, all these basics we know. Get up, dress up, show up, and never give up. So there's our fire in our belly to face our challenges. Just remember that. And when life's ebbing and flowing along, we can take a deep breath. We'll flow right along with it, just like we're supposed to, right? So I am grounded and secure. Kind of goes along with number one. I'm like that big oak tree. Actually, I think that's a maple. Yeah, that's a maple. But, we're grounded. And that groundedness, those roots, is what keeps us secure. It kind of tells our brains, hey, you're safe, you're good. Which is the whole point of our brain, keeping us safe, right? I am self-sufficient. I am all I need, just like I said earlier. I'm strong. I'm independent, and I can take care of myself. Doesn't mean I don't need people, because we need people. We're built for connection in this world. But I am all I need, and I am self-sufficient. I am confident with who I am within myself. And I can do all things with the help of my friends, with the help of my family, with the help of my God. There are little boosts, but I have all that's within me to become who I need to be, as long as I take care of myself and I'm confident in myself and my abilities, right? So I am love. I am love being in my body. I was looking at this one and I had to think about it, because I said, I am love being in my body. And I kind of took a step back and I said, okay, I am love. I am love. I am love. I love myself. I love other people. I love my friends and my family. I love you guys, and I am love. We're all love. We come from love and we are love, right? And I love being in my body. This is a good one. This is really a good one for now, because, society tries to tell us how we're supposed to look, how we're supposed to act, what we're supposed to do. No, you're who you are. You need to be who you are. And we need to be happy, and we need to be confident in our own skin. Doesn't mean we can't make improvements. I can lose a little bit of weight. Y'all see, I got a little bit of the flab right there. I got to work on my bat wings a little bit, and I'll work on that. But, we got to be happy. We got to be healthy, because we don't want to kid ourselves, because we want to be healthy. But you got to be confident. You got to be comfortable in your own skin. Nobody is going to make you feel comfortable except in your own skin, except for you. And this is something I've struggled with myself my whole life. I've always been a bigger girl. And it's interesting, because I never really truly let it get me down to the point that, I got real depressed. I mean, we all go through, life and stages in our life, but, I think I had a good enough support system that I could be happy with who I was, regardless of what, I saw when I looked in the mirror. And I think that's really, really important, because we got a lot of people here running around there being told they need to be this, they need to be that. And no, you need to be who you are. You need to be who you were born to be. That's the whole point of all this. The best, version of who we are. and let's be confident, and let's be secure, love ourselves and the skin that we're in, okay? So I'm gonna jump on over into a little bit of the Frosty knowledge. And I just wanted to say right before I jump into that, as I take my sip of water, I don't know why I said water, coffee, I'm not doing water yet, because I feel like I need another little sip here. But growing up, we weren't rich, by a long shot. Definitely weren't rich. We weren't poor. We're that, middle class, but I mean, I always felt rich. I never needed anything. I had the love of my family, growing up. And we always had each other. Always had each other's backs, no matter what. I'm very, if we're talking about gratitude, I'm very, very thankful for my upbringing and my family, because not everybody has that. And I realize that. And I wish that they did, because I didn't want for anything. I never wanted for love, that's for sure. I always, felt like I could talk to my mama and my daddy. Even my older brother. So I had to throw that out there. Now, I love my older brother. He's the best. I love you, bro. But I truly love my family and my extended family. My little hometown I grew up in. I still keep up with folks as much as I can, because, that's my roots. That's where I came from. Well, we got to remember where we came from, right? That's really, really important. And she just agreed with me. She just a little meow if you heard it there. Ain't that right, Chrissy? But I'm very thankful for them and how they raised me. And, I probably wouldn't be able to sit here and talk to you folks right now if it wasn't for them, because they raised me. I think they raised me right and raised me good. And I'm extremely grateful and thankful for that. And I'm thankful that they're still, here on this earth. They're still together. Life is good, my friends. Life is good. So we're going to jump into our Frosty knowledge, because we're getting ready to wrap it up here. I want you to know that gratitude signals safety in our nervous system. I mentioned that before. Our brains, bless our hearts, want to keep us alive. Well, that's kind of important, right? We like to be alive. And that's our job, But they kind of forget to just let us live and be who we are. Because their whole job is to keep us safe, keep us secure. And that's the whole point. We're happy that we got our health, we got a roof over our head, we're vulnerable with people, we got food on our tables, all these things. We get up in the morning, we're grateful for that, right? But when we feel safe in our lives, in our home, it's really important. When we feel safe and we're able to say, hey, I feel safe. I'm very thankful for that. There's my gratitude. The brain says, oh, okay, good. Well, we must be doing something right, because you feel safe, you feel secure. We're not having to work overtime, overthinking, trying to get you where you need to feel safe, because maybe you have all this anxiety. Because if you have a lot of anxiety and you're depressed and stuff, your brain knows this, and it starts, firing off, hey, we got to do what we got to do to get this person grounded, get them leveled out, and get them feeling safe again. That's when your brain starts really kicking in and overthinking, because it's trying to protect us. And that's very, very important. But we got to live our lives. We don't want to overthink everything. As much as we love our brain, and we love our brain, but we got to go out and live our lives, right? And we got to be happy and chase our dreams, as I always say. Do things that nourish our soul. So I'm getting ready to wrap it up today, folks. I want you to tell me in the comments, what one thing makes you feel safe today. I've truly enjoyed having you guys. It's been awesome. We're going to keep going. We're going to change it up. We're going to dive into some things a little bit deeper. We're going to get a little bit frostier on some things. But, because we're always keeping it frosty on the outside and warm on the inside, right? You guys, get out and get you some sunshine, especially if you got this, because it's gorgeous right now, and I'm getting ready to go out here in a little bit. And, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a wonderful, blessed day. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Wonderful week ahead. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching me here on Frosty Peach. We'll see you next time.
Enjoy conversation with the peach. She's just a little frosty.